Hey guys, I'm Mike back here with you again on Bodine Farms, and today we're going to be working on replacing a belt on a John Deere 5075E. The belt, the existing belt here had broke on us the other day, so we've just got to get that thing here repaired. So this belt, as you can see, it's supposed to go here, spins the alternator, the fan, and from the motor down here. It looks like we'll be able to get the, might be a little bit of a task, but probably just get the belt around the blades first, and then hopefully go ahead and just put everything in place and then use our alternator to go ahead and tighten it up here. That's how I'm hoping it's going to go, so we'll see. So here's our belt that broke, and then here's our belt we're going to replace it with. So hopefully this will go pretty smoothly. I don't really know what happened. I mean, this is dry rotted up a good bit, cracked up and stuff. And the reason I say I don't know what happened is actually because I've replaced this belt once before, and these tractors are 2016, so I'm not sure. It doesn't look like anything's in the way. It just might be the rubber in the belt. You know, maybe it just wasn't holding up as good. So we've had that before, so we'll see. Let's try to get this thing on here, stick around here, and let's see what happens. So that was a success. I was able to get the belt in between the fan blades here. It was difficult, just enough room to kind of squeeze it in, and then went ahead and got it around the flywheel down there and up around the fan and into the alternator here. So now we're just going to go ahead and pull this out, which will pull tension here on the belt itself, and we'll be able to go ahead and put all of our side pieces back on and fire it all up and go again. So the moment of truth, got her fired up. Everything's running real smooth. Running nice and straight. Well, maybe just a belt. I guess these items do wear, so I mean they're all hoses, belts, all that good stuff. They're all wearable parts. So but that was pretty successful, and not as bad as I thought it was going to be. We were able to get that belt around there, so that's cool. We're going to go ahead and put everything back together on this tractor here. We also went around and had to right around this time of the year in the winter time, it seems like on these specific tractors, they're 2016 and 2017 models, both of them. All of the where the hoses are connected to with the clamps, it seems like for some reason they just shrink and they leak out a little bit, and you can kind of see that in where you've seen all the dirt collected around the motor. It's actually collecting to some of those pieces that are leaking, you know, real small leaks. And so we have to go around and tighten them things. In the summer they're usually good, but in the wintertime we just find ourselves having to retighten them. So we've already actually done that on the other 5075. We have two. This is the one that we usually go around picking up mortality and stuff like that, and the one that we use for picking up hay bales and all that good stuff too. So we got that all fixed up. I think we're going to be good to go for that, and stick around and we'll see what else we have going for the day. So we were going through today feeding cattle, and we have two. Somehow or another, this one's ripped her eyelid, and we're going to go ahead and give it an antibiotic, and we're going to flush it with some iodine here. Be about the best way we can do it. No idea really what she got caught up on, and we've got another one, the same deal. Alright, so here's our other one who has gotten this hook. This is the weirdest thing ever, to come out here 2 to 1 day and not really sure. This is a very clean pasture, and we do everything we can to keep this type of stuff from happening. I'm not even really sure where he's picked this up at. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing out of there, treat him again, and flush it with some iodine. All right, so we ended up getting, we got the hook out of the eye of the one there. And then we went ahead, we sprayed some iodine on that, give that cow an antibiotic there. And then with the other one, did the same thing. We cleaned up the dressing around the eye, and then give that cow an antibiotic as well. So let me show you what we pulled out of here. So this is the hook that we pulled out of the one eye of the one steer that we had there. And so this obviously, I mean, it's here because we built all this stuff. We went looking around to try to figure out where this came out of. There's only a couple spots that we could think of, and it's still there. But that one gate system we have up for the head gates, I do believe that we had a hook on the other side of the actual post. So so the thing about it is that even that was not really at a spot that, I mean, there's cows should have been able to get to. It means they were kind of more than likely reaching all the way around, maybe scratching their neck or something, and somehow caught this hook on completely on the opposite side of the post, which would have been facing outside of the pasture. So unfortunately, I guess things like this happen. It's lessons learned, even for ourselves, where you don't think this type of stuff's going to happen. And we try to basically child-proof our pastures. I mean, literally we do, because we've seen this through the years of doing stuff, where if a cow, or just say livestock in general, if they can find something, they're going to find it. So just an unfortunate thing, but again, just a continuing education, because absolutely would never want this to happen. That was a terrible experience, if you guys could see that very clearly. Not an experience I would like to have. So again, the antibiotics we give, it's just responsible use of an antibiotic. The only reason being is you guys obviously seen that, so anybody who's watching, and then we'll abide by. Actually, those guys have quite a bit of time to stay here. They probably have 7 or 8 months yet to go ahead and finish out. So those guys, the antibiotics will be clearly out of their system, but we will record all of that. We will have that recorded down, and we'll make sure that those guys are, they're good to go before everything for processing and stuff like that. So, man, sucks really. We're in here in the shop today going through a scale that I had. It's an alleyway scale. I had this set up in one of our alleys out here for our loadout, and it was convenient. Cows could just step right up on top of it and then, weigh them out and they'd be good to go. Unfortunately, about 2 months into that, it's got some channels in here, and I'll show you guys here in a second, but it's got some channels in here that they're really nifty little spots here for mice to get into, and they built a bunch of nests in it in a very short period of time, and then proceeded to chew up all the wires that ran into the controls for the load cells and all that stuff. So let me just let me switch around here, you guys can take a look at it. All right, so this is it's a steel platform, and fairly simple scale. And it's I think the head unit of it, I have to look to see exactly who it's made by. But anyway, you guys can see these are old load cells here. This is what came on it, and so we just had a bunch of damage where mice chewed all of it up, and they kind of got into these. See these channels, how that is. So this scale, unfortunately, is I mean, it's going to harbor this type of deal. We're going to end up fixing this and actually keeping it in the shop, and we're going to end up using it to weigh out. I think we're going to have it certified and everything. It is a Class 3 scale, so I believe we're going to have it certified, and then we're going to weigh our meat out on it when we get beef back and stuff like that. We already weigh out our retail cuts when we get back, and it helps us keep up to what what the cost per pound actually is when everything's said and done. But anyway, we went ahead and installed the new load cells, ran all the new wires, ran that all through the channels. So now we're just here hooking up our main unit here that ties in, and then last thing I got to do here is actually hook this piece up here. Then that goes to that'll go to the controller itself. So I'm just about finished up with this, and I think we're going to go through at least on one of these series here. I think we're going to go through at least one of these series, and I'm going to show you guys. We have quite a few scales here on the farm, actually. We've got scales on our chutes for our cattle. We have this scale, which you'll see. So you'll see this again once everything's said and done and it's all fixed. I have scales back for our pigs, and then we have our retail scales and stuff like that. So maybe one day we'll just kind of go through and take a look at it all. But let's go ahead and get this finished up here, guys. So stick around. Alright guys, let me just show you here. So it's not as conveniently tucked in here. So the original box obviously fit right inside the opening, and then this was for the this was your cover that covered this up for us, and then the cable here that I actually ended up wiring in had another female into it where it just plugged into here and then plugged into our controller. That would have been a nice, real clean setup. This is just a little bit too big. You guys can see where I had to cut this back in order just to get the wires in, but then once they're there, the box is, I mean, the box ain't going nowhere. I think that's due to the wires. So I think what I am going to do though is maybe have some type of strap of some sort here, just to kind of hold it in. I don't know that I need it, but I might use something like that just to have it done. So we're gonna set this thing up right here a little later on, and then we're gonna go ahead and hook it up to our scale or hook it up to our digital readout, and then probably have to go through all our stuff to go ahead and set it up to have it weighing out right.